Good evening, all of you, and thanks for joining this uh, webinar on working with SAP tables. It will be interesting to go through this session and understand more about SAP tables. So very quickly about me, uh, I'm working on SAP since '97 when I joined General Motors, which at that time was Fortune #1 500 company, and so largest company in the earth on the earth at a time. And since then, I worked with many corporates and got good experience working on SAP and finance. So that way, I developed a SAP, so techno finance kind of a background profile. And I worked on 4 end-to-end FSU implementation with global scenarios. And on the domain side, I worked on general ledger, financial closings, cost controlling, product costing, profitability analysis, and so on. You can look at my website to know what I do in more details. It's jayesh.desai.com. And so 1 second, perhaps you may. Okay, so now I'm sure you should be able to see my screen. Okay, so I work in the 3 areas of business valuation, data analytics, and SAP training and consulting. So I provide training to working professionals for FICO skills development, and also I contribute to the community by conducting this kind of webinar and spread more awareness and knowledge about SAP. This website has a lot of details. If you are interested in learning SAP, there are SAP videos, business controlling webinar, which I held few days back. And then details on FICO certification, SAP as a carrier, and then the program video. So you can watch these videos to help you improve your SAP knowledge in case if you are new to SAP. There are like 10 to 12 videos, and many of them are also advanced, like it also has SAP Material Ledger, not many other, including many videos on controlling. So that this will be interesting for those who want to explore SAP or try to understand SAP better. So coming to the core topic, I just 2 slides to talk about SAP before I get into tables, because it's good to start with some context before I go into SAP tables. So first is, what is the SAP ERP? Most of you know about it, but let me again bring it in a maybe different manner. So it is an off-the-shelf ERP. Off-the-shelf means that you just go and buy the whole suite of SAP and implement it. You don't need to really do grounds-up programming. You can customize it based on your requirement if SAP functionality is not available. But otherwise, most of it can be configured and implemented. So this is what we call it a standard SAP, which can be configured. And without customization, standard SAP can be implemented to meet almost all the business requirement and can be done in a very short time. And it is actually more efficient than trying to customize. Most of the business users, they try to overload SAP with their own requirement, trying to build SAP based on the legacy systems. And that is where SAP does not really give the kind of output that is expected. So try to do less of customization and try to adapt your processes as per standard SAP. Sometimes it is difficult because SAP processes are more built keeping in mind large companies, especially global companies. And sometimes you may find it slightly difficult, but perhaps you'll find it more value to adapt a standard business process. Now, why I'm talking about customization, configuration, what is off the shelf? Because you don't really need to create any tables. When you configure SAP, SAP will have tables already extracted. So no Z tables need to be created. It's only when you do customization, and especially if you build a complete business process with forms, screens, then only you may need a table. Otherwise, you don't really need to have a table. So most of the tables will be standard SAP tables. We are going to look at those standard tables and see how much of detail they give, even without any customization. There is a second slide which I would like all of you to remember is how SAP is structured. Because what goes into table is so SAP has this table in which it generates. So starting from transactions, where SAP has a modular structure designed by the function of the organization, like finance function, controlling function, sales, quality, business management, production planning.
Hello?
So it is a function structure at the bottom of the pyramid where the transactions happen. So transactional data gets captured in table.
Mr. Nagarajan, can you please mute yourself?
Above it is the master data. Master data is like that of a customer or a vendor, bill of material and metal master and so on. Then you have the configuration, which is where you will set up SAP, an enterprise structure and client. So SAP will have different type of tables. The nomenclature of the tables will also depend whether we are looking at which level of data. Transaction level have a different way of naming of tables compared to the configuration and the enterprise structure tables. For those who are looking for career in SAP, this will be interesting that most of the end user, power user, from CFO to down below the end to at the transaction level, they all work on this layer, transaction and master data. Whereas the functional consultants like finance consultant, CO consultant, MMPP, SD consultants, they work with this data, configuration and enterprise structure data. They of course can also test their system and transactions in quality or in development system, but in production system, it is always the end user who are responsible for master data and the transaction data, whereas the configuration enterprise and the client is the end of functional and the technical consultants. So all this data finally gets stored in SAP tables, and that's what we are going to see today, how it gets stored and how can we access it and what kind of structure it is. So that's what will be interesting. So we are directly going into SAP now. This is a SAP logon pad, and the SAP logon pad, I can have any number of connections. Right now I got one of my client HANA connection where I'm providing them consulting. The other is one HANA connection with a vendor. This is another vendor, ECC. This HANA is with a UK vendor. This ECC is with a UK vendor. So it is possible to have different servers all put into one single logon. Now I log into SAP ECC first. So this is where the client is and the user ID. Most of you perhaps would be aware about the navigation, but I'll still quickly do a short navigation so you understand. So SAP actually runs by transaction code and not by the keyboards, which many of the system often you'll do transaction based on the keys, the keyboard keys and the shortcut keys, but in SAP it is always based on the transaction, this one. So right now it is session manager because it's a home screen. But as I go into transaction, you'll see that this changes. And then, like I mentioned, SAP has a modular structure. So you see within logistics, it has got metals management, sales and distribution, logistic execution, production planning, quality, and so on. There are many functions. And then within accounting, got financial accounting, controlling, and then there are other submodules that you implement based on the requirement of the organization. So within financial accounting, you will have general ledger, account receivable, accounts payable, banks, and fixed assets. These 4 or 5 more important sub-modules within FI. And then in controlling module, you will have the cost center accounting. Got a bit slowed down. Okay, so cost element accounting, cost center accounting, internal order, product cost controlling, profitability analysis, and profit center accounting. There are 6 major sub-modules within controlling. So these are the major ones which we will typically work in most of the companies. Some of the company may, based on the requirement, implement some other modules, and that may also populate some other tables. Okay. So first, let us see how will even data get generated, and how will we see the table, and how will we do the transaction. So when you start with the transaction, this say FB50. So that's where I will do a GL entry. Let's see if it gives me all the freedom to do. This typical, entry. Let me see which company code I'm posting in 2000. Actually, I had muted all, but maybe, yeah, I think everyone is muted. Okay, so I have to a cost center. So I will make this a debit and this one a credit. More typical transaction.
मेरे नाम से तो
Okay, so with this, a document number gets generated 15246, and it is at this stage that it will go and save data in the table, not when I was trying to post. So a document generated, it will give get posted in the table. But before we go into table, let us see this document. Okay, so this document has got 2 parts. One is this part, which is called a header. Now, if you had say 20, 30 different line items, still you will have one header. Okay, and you may have multiple line items. So if you click now, do an F1 here, you'll come to this pop-up, and you see this small technical information tool like. So you click here and you see the table name BKPF. So most of the time you'll see a transparent table, but sometimes there's also structure, and that way it makes the life, searching table slightly more difficult. If the table name is not straightforward to you, you can Google and find out. Okay, so this table name is very straightforward. It is BKPF. Okay, so I should be able to find this number in the BKPF. And let me see if I get some table name from here. Yeah, so this is BSEG, BSEG. So this is how I will, get the table name. If I click here anywhere in this F1, I can get to see the table names, COBL. So now I'll create another session. I'll click this create session. To see a table, I have to go into T-code SE16. And it asks me for the table name. So I already had the BKPF. So once I enter the table name, it will bring me to this screen. Now we'll look at some of the features on this screen where you can enter different variables for your search. So it's very powerful search you can do. First, let us see the number of entries. So it has got 428,000 and plus entries in this table, the BKPF table. Okay, and if you come here, take this document number, put the document. So you get this item in the table. If you double click this line, you can see the client 800, the company code. Even though you did not enter client, SAP has automatically taken the client because that's the one in which you are logged in. The company code, the document number, fiscal year. So it has captured a lot of data, which can be a mine of information, depending upon what kind of analysis you want to do. So this is your document which we had posted is appearing here. Or let me show you more. So if I look at this drop down, there are more than 500 company codes. Okay, so I can, if I want to do a search, I can even do take this range 1000 to 1200. Okay. Now, if I take this 1000, it has got 167,223 entries. This number shows how many hits will come when you execute this. So right now it will give me 500. Okay. And if I want more fields, then I can come here and I can select more fields for selection. Example, if I want to search based on posting date, I can do. So I can take a posting date here, let's say, 1st September. And then till today, today is 22nd. Okay, and now you see within this few months, there are 15,949 entries that have been made. If I see the company code where I had posted, there are 5,335 entries that have been posted between these two, which is September to December. So in 4 months, this many items have been posted. So this can help me to select different fields. I can also search by username. So my username is 01, and so till now I've made 96 entries in this system because I have not put any company code. So this will be across many different company codes. Okay, directly join कर लिया मैंने link मार नहीं आ रहा Just tell her that it is the right link. It is working. Okay, so I can also search with user and see what all entries they have made. So if I click on this now, so it will give me a complete list of all the entries which I made across all the different company codes. You see the company code here. I've made entries in so many different company codes. So this becomes much easier to search for any entries. So we are going to go further deep dive into this, but right now I'm just trying to give you an overview of what can be done in this table. Okay, so this is the power of fields for selection. You can select whatever you want and then take it as a criteria for the output. Then comes the user parameters. So how you want the output. So right now I've taken ALV grid as the output, which is the output which I like most. But if you want, you can also take this list. So it looks like this. But if you want to really download into Excel, then this works the best. So this is very easy to download. You can just click on this icon and it will take you to the folder where you want to download. Okay, so there's one more important thing here is the field name and the field label. Label means this plain simple English. Like company code, you understand it is a company code. But in SAP, there is a technical term that is used for each of this field, which is not plain English. So if I click on this, then it says BUKRS. So SAP understands BUKRS, we understand company code. Now, over a period of time, as you get conversant, you may also take this, and sometimes we also need this view because if we have just got a field name, then we can make use of this parameter. Because then we can see what is the field name and we can search with that, or we can match the field name. Right now, I'll take the field label and it will turn to the simple English. Okay, so this is the feature at the entry screen. There are other things also. For example, there is a range of company code. So let me say like this. I want to select all the company code, but which should not equal to say 1000. So I'll execute it. So it will take all the company code which is not equal to 1000, and I get this much number of entries. So this can be used very wisely to modify your search criteria. And this actually feature is available in almost all the screens in SAP. In all the reports that you execute, you'll get this. It's a very beautiful way of selecting. So you can delete it if you don't want, and then it will take all the company code. I use this feature a lot when I have to make different searches. Many times I have to say there are times when certain fields have blank entry which I don't want, then I will simply say this one should not equal to blank, and then it will give me those line items which have values. So you can use it very wisely and define how your output will come. So this screen is very useful from that perspective. And how will you define your output? Okay, so let us go inside this. Now you see there's a document type here. If you go back to the screen, every document has a document type. So this is SA, general ledger posting. So as you can see, whatever you have selected, most of them is SA. But there are some WE as well. So what will be the use of this? So if I click here, then it will tell me all the different document types. Now, if you look at SA, then it is for general ledger, but what is WE? So WE is all good receipt. Now let's say you are searching for only those accounting entries which are good receipt. So you can come here, go to this filter and select the document type WE. So now you can get output only by WE. This you can also do in the front screen, but you can also do this in the output as well. You can do this kind of filter that you want. Okay, so let's say if you are trying to find out all the entries with in your GL, which have come from different modules, so which is not SA. So what you can do is you can go by this document type, find out, or there are many other ways also you can do, because this may sometimes be very elaborate also. If you look at this, T codes like MIGO, these are not the finance T code. So this field can be used. And the other is this reference transaction, MKPF. M stands for materials. So this T code.
Ravindra, can you mute yourself?
You can also find out all the. One second. I'll have to take out a filter, otherwise. Okay, so now again we have all the entries. Okay, and if you want to take the MKPF, you can.
Mr. Ravindra, can you mute yourself?
So this you see now, it has got many different transactions. So coffee means it will be controlling kind of transaction. So each one of them will have different implications. And of course, when you're working on table, it will require you to have very good understanding about SAP transactions. But over a period of time, you will get a good hang over it.
Mr. Ravindra, can you please mute yourself?
The transaction is BKPF. So because this is a finance transaction, is the BKPF. If I take this document, you see, and then I go to FB03. So which company code is this? So it is year 2021 and company code is 1000. I think it will still run. So this is the accounting entry. Spare parts account is debited, credit to GRIR, and income price variance account is credited. And if you come to this, say good receipt, WE, and metal document is MKPF. So if you are auditing, if you are an auditor who is auditing, or if you are an end user who is analyzing the transaction, so this is very useful. Or even if as a consultant, it is very useful for you to identify the right entries, because this one will tell you the source. This will give a T code and the transaction.
Ravindra and Uday Pandey, can you mute yourself?
This field and this field will give you a lot of information about from where it is coming.
Sir, I think you should mute everyone other than the speaker. That will be better, sir.
Okay, so this is BKPF, and as I've said earlier here, it is the header. Now this one, as we have seen, it resides in another table called BSEG. So now we'll go into BSEG. So slash and SE16. Now if you see, this has got document number, so I'll take this document number and execute it. No entry found. But which is this entry? Sorry, I've taken a GL account. Just 2021. I have to give fiscal year. If the document number is created every year, then I have to give the fiscal year. So now you see this one has got two items, 1 and 2, which is debit and credit. So if you click here, H stands for credit and S stands for debit. So the debit and credit which I have done here is part of BSEG. Now you'll say why SAP has done this, why it could not have one table. Yeah, the internal structure of table is very technical. SAP will do all this based on many different ways. You know, it has a much holistic view. It may be because it want to, you know, make the system work more efficiently or want to have better controls and so on. There can be many reasons why SAP has split these tables. But this is how it is. You should be able to get to know different tables, table name by clicking F1 on any field in SAP and see that table. Okay, so now this is a BSEG table and it is a transaction. Okay, so I'll take this off. If you remember, we had some like 5 lakhs some entries over there in the BKPF. How many entries? I run it without any search criteria, then about 4.28 lakhs. And this one, it's still searching the correct number. It will definitely be much higher than 4.28 because BSEG will have line items, whereas BKPF will have the header. So header will have just one line, whereas the same line can have multiple BSEG lines. So this is 13.51 lakhs. Okay, so again, you can search by the company code and by the document number. So company code and document number and fiscal year, these are the way it will connect the line item with the header. And you can just execute this. Again, whatever I spoken about the selection screen in the BKPF apply to BSEG and all the tables. Now here, if you see, it gives you by line items. So this document has got 2 line items. If it has got more than 2, then you can see it here. Then it will have other details like the posting key, the account type. So SAP has got 5 different account types: assets, customers, vendors, material, and GL accounts. So now it gives you a very clear idea that if I just want to see asset related entries, then I can come here, select A and execute. If there is any asset transaction in this 500 item, then it will bring up. So there are 3 asset transactions here. So one more thing to take care is that this one S and H, you see both are positive sign, not one. It's not that one is negative, other is positive. To the original screen, this looks negative here, but you see it in this, it won't be there. If you take this document, fiscal year 2021. So Arijit asking, what is the purpose of tables in SAP? The tables is there in all the application, from WhatsApp to Facebook to everything, because it is part of the database, right? So your database will have different, parts where it will store the data in some structured manner. That's what SAP is doing through tables. So behind this ECC is maybe there is an Oracle database or SQL, and tables are created in those database, and the application is storing data in those tables of Oracle or or SQL. If the database is HANA, like in S4 HANA or for ECC on HANA, in that case, it will be storing this data in the HANA database. So irrespective of the database, these tables are the same. No, doesn't matter. Some company may have Oracle, some company may have SQL, some company may have HANA, but the same table names and the same table structure will be there irrespective of the database. Okay, so within database, the table is created to partition the data and create more structure, because the way the application works, it works by linking the tables, through primary fields and the secondary fields. So, and then this is I'm trying to give you more non-technical answer, but it's actually a very technical field, and it may not be perhaps right for this audience. But yeah, just think from a perspective that it is needed to store the data. And is there any way to get table out of structure? Sometimes we get structured, it becomes difficult to find table. Yes, correct. So in that case, my most easy way that I take help of is Google. But there are T codes that you can make use of, though there is more complexities. You have to go into the structure and find out there the table. But most of the time, I then take the help of Google. Just Google out, for example, if you're searching for customer master tables, say SAP customer master table, and you will get a list of those tables. I think that is a very easy way of getting over the structure for any end user. Okay. How can you make us understand like a simple entry posting to summarizing of data to balance it like overview of with SAP? So what I have done here right now is I've shown you one entry. Okay, based on that entry, I've shown you how SAP is storing the data, and based on that one entry, I'm showing you perhaps millions of line items of data and how you can now analyze it better. Okay, so let me show you something which will be more interesting. So I'll show you tables of tables. So if you go into SE16 and use this DD02L, this is called tables of tables, because this table stores all tables. And if you come to the number of entries, this is 5.71 lakhs. So, which means that right now in this system, 5.71 lakh tables are active, just like BKPA, BSEG. There are 5.71 lakhs tables. So you can understand the size of this system by just this simple number. And so what we are going to do today is pick up few important ones, so that will help you develop some skills around tables. Okay, so how can you now find out the right table? Once you find out the right table, how can you go to SE16 and explore data? But remember one thing, that in many companies, they will put restriction or security on the SE16 or SE16N transaction, because if someone has got SE16 or 16N access, then he will be able to view transaction across all the company codes. So yes, Nikhil, authorization is an issue, but I am right now assuming that you have authorization. Okay, so how will you help your management understand is something I am not trying to get into. It's first important to get a skill, try figure out how you can make use of it, and then maybe your technology team can also help you. Okay, so there are many ways you can work internally inside the company. If people trust you, then there will be a way to get to this. There are many ways, but if you don't understand this, then perhaps you will not be able to even find the way. Okay, so first thing, what is more important is develop your skill, then find out how you can get over the authorization. So authorization is not an issue if there is a business case. Yeah, but if you don't have any business case and you just want to see, then obviously no company allows you to view their data. It is, of course, confidential. Okay, so I'll move forward. So at least this helps you to understand the magnitude, the size of the system with 5.71 lakh data like tables. I'm just right now into two tables, BKPF and BSEG. Okay, there are like 5.71 lakh tables still to go. So and you really don't need to remember this. You can just use F1 and rest you can make use of this. Okay, BSEG. So it is, and the field name is UKRS. So SAP has everything inside it. I'm just trying to tell you how you can explore it to your advantage. You don't need to really remember. I also don't remember this. But yeah, because I've been working on this for a long time, I have memorized many things, but I still make use of the F1 and the keys to know the tables and the field names. Okay, so if you execute, say this for company code 1000, see the number of entries. So there are 5,71,391 entries. It is huge. You know, I can't make any sense out of it. So which is where the first thing you should have before even you go into table is what is the outcome you are expecting, without which the table is a maze of data. You won't be able to get anything out of it. You need to have the clarity of thought. You need to figure out what problem you are trying to solve. So the problem I'm trying to solve is I want to get data for all the orders. Okay, so let me go into this. This is 5.71 lakhs, but let me execute only 500 of them. Okay, so I got this. Now you know that you can also open this up. You can also go into settings and change the user parameter. You can change this field name. You can change the grid display. That you can do it from here as well. Now, one more thing you can do is you can rearrange these fields. You want business area front, you want this amount in local currency here. Now, when you execute this again, let us see whether it is in the same place or not. Yeah, so it is in the same place where I had changed. But then now if I log off and log in again, then it will not be in the same place. So what I have to do is I have to create another layout. So I can save this layout. Yeah, so I can create my layout here. Okay, JD test. So when I execute this, when it shows here, because like I've already told you, but you see this comes here. In case if you don't see the layout the way you want, you can select this layout. So this one will remain even after I log out and log in again. I can come here and I can get my layout. I can have multiple layout based on my requirement. So that is another thing you can do. You can download it into Excel, the spreadsheet, and select from all variable formats. And you can now save it. Okay. So I'm not going to Excel because all of you are expert in Excel. So there you can easily save it in Excel and then do rest. If you want to sort, you can sort it. You can filter the data. You can refresh, to see that when new entries have come, you can refresh. Then it will bring in the new entries also. Okay, so let us keep working towards our problem. So you see this field, it has got order. Okay. And if I want data only for order, and so only one leg of the transaction will have the order, not the other one. So what kind of entry is this? Let us go and see. So we go into this.
मेल खोलना और पासवर्ड चेंज करना
कैसे चेंज करें पासवर्ड?
So /fb03. I can display the document.
This is my request to the admin. Kindly mute all the participants from your side. I think participants don't know how to mute
So this is a
themselves.
reconciliation entry that is flown from
Admin is not able to hear us, so that's
from controlling to FI. But then again, I don't
Okay.
want this kind of entry. I want just pure order. So this is coffee, T code, transaction type. So I have to exclude the coffee. Okay. So I will so what I can do is I can come here and say give me fields which are not blank. So this is the field for order. And I see the number of entries. So earlier it was something like 5.7 lakhs. So where will this kind of thing be useful? It will be useful if you are trying, it's because in general ledger, you get entries from different parts of the organization. Pure FI, there will be very few entries, but most of the entries come from PPSD integration. So this is how you can find out which are the entries that have come from this integration. Okay, so you execute this. Okay, so you will get all the orders. Now you can find out what will be the right transaction type for any. So these are all CO related, COFI reconciliation. So you may have to find out what will be the right one for the materials. 1 second, let us go into this entry and see. A21. This is also FICO reconciliation. And you come here, this is the AFRU transaction. So basically, it is the document type is SA. So you may have to perhaps take out the document type, but document type is at the header level. So you won't see the document type in BSEC. It is there in BKPF. So you will have to then find out ways to exclude this by finding out what will be the right transaction type. So what I can do is pull it here and bring all this together for you to understand it better. It takes some time initially if you are new, but gradually it works very well. But you should know all the criteria based on which you want to search. So this is the one I was looking for, where there's a production happening on this. Semi-finished product is produced. Yes, if I go to the original entry, this is the material document that has been created for this purpose. Okay. So it is a bit of iteration, but once you build a logic, then you can pull out the data that you want. Now, why would you do this? You know, first is this is a very unstructured way of analyzing. The report that you get it developed, or the ones which are in SAP, they are very structured data, and they don't give you all the information possible in one report. So, which is where you can go for this kind of analysis. Second is that you know, some of the complex report development also takes a lot of time. If you know how to work with query and table, that can save a lot of cost, and which you can give it as a justification for working on tables. The other one example you can take is that of, say, let us go to, so this one was for the document. Let me show you the master data. So this is the account, semi-finished product account, consumed account. This has got two parts. One is the chart of account, and the other is the company code related data. So it is the same way it is structured. If you do an F1 here, so it gives you the detail of what is the account group, and then clicking here will take you to a structure. Okay, but from my experience, I know that this goes and saves into SKA1. So SKA1 is where you will see all the chart of account. And SKB1 is where you will see this company code related data. Okay, so if you click on this one will have a different table. I think it will be still a structure. Okay, but this is SKB1, and the other one is SKA1. Okay, so if you go to these tables, this is also very interesting table, SKA1. So if you see the number of entries, there are 24,611 accounts. Our chart of account is INT, and see the number of entries, it is 1694. And you can see this account, whether it's a balance sheet account or a P&L account. The blank is P&L, X is a balance sheet account, and then the account group to which it is related. And now if you go to SKB1, and now here I have to take the company code to which this INT chart of account is used. So I know that it is 1000, and this has got 1304 accounts. So I'll right now just take 500 of this, and you see this account 098. Now this one will have a different data set compared to this one. So SKA1, like I said, will classify the account, and it will also have an account group. But this one will have more detailed level of data, like what is the field status group, whether that account is a reconciliation account or not. If you want to find out all the asset related reconciliation account, just type A. And you get all the asset related reconciliation account. Let me take the entire accounts because there are not many. If I come here and I want to see which are the vendor related reconciliation account, these are the ones. So in one shot, I can know which are the accounts that are used for vendor related. Sometimes it is very difficult to find out from the front end. So I can delete this and save, and I'll get all the data back. So this is one field. Other is there's also a field where we post automatically. So many of the transactions like coming from metals management, sales and distribution PP, it goes through automatic account posting. Okay, so if you see, this is the posting block. So all the accounts which are posting block, you can find it out here. Open item management. I want to show you the automatic accounts. Posting block, last date. Post automatically only. So where is this euro after euro? Supplement auto postings, mark for deletion, line item display. Yeah, so this is given a field name and is post automatically only. So all those accounts which can be posted automatically, I want to see. So just say, give me account which is not equal to blank. So here I can get all the accounts which are posted automatically. Now, what are the names of this account? Name of this account is in table SKA1. So it's very simple. Download both the Excel file and do a VLOOKUP, right? So all of you are expert in Excel, and I'm sure with the ability to download it, you will be able to do many things. Okay, so now let me quickly have a look at the questions. Okay, is there any way to get table out of structure that I already said? How can you make us understand like a simple way entry posting? Yeah, so kindly tell the process of SAP. Means SAP is pretty large. What I have covered in this 1 hour is a small piece of it, so that at least you understand that. But yeah, it takes almost 40 hours, 50 hours of training to completely understand SAP. Is SE11 related to table structure? SE11 is more from the developer side. I have not touched base on this. There are a lot of T code which are related. But in 1 hour, I cannot show you. This is an ABAP dictionary that anyway will not get any access because it is for ABAPers. But SE16 is something still we may. Please elaborate user specified and general layout. So user specified and general layout. Where did you see, Nikhil, this? Oh, user parameters. So you can have a look at, you can define the screen based on your parameters. Is user parameter and general parameters, which will be applied in general for all the users. So open item management is a very separate area right now. I won't be able to take because of paucity of time. my focus for today's session was just to talk about tables. Can we generate a table reconciling expenses and related TDS deducted? So long as the data is stored, it will definitely, you can do anything you want. You have to just find out whether, like I showed you an accounting entry. So you have to find out that accounting entry and see what you want to do. Then you can find out the right tables and you can download those and see the reconciliation. Any shortcut to find out difference in automatic posting GLs? Shortcut to find out difference in automatic. I could not understand this question. Is what kind of difference you are talking about? Because in the tables you see as on today, what are the accounts that have the automatic accounting posting tick. If someone has the authorization, he can also remove it. And the table will show that blank. Okay, so that's what the whole purpose was, to show you, talk about the ERP and this. And I'll just brief you on this training also. I'm starting the next batch in January. And if you're interested, you can join this. It's a very practical hands-on SAP kind of training. I'm used to doing this kind of training, less of presentation, more of SAP. There will have access to both S/4HANA and ECC. The ECC is one which I was using right now, which has got a lot of data. And the session is recorded. You get the recording also. There are late evening classes so that it works well for working professionals and covers all the modules. Most of the scenarios like make to stock, make to order, subcontracting, transfer pricing, we cover most of the scenarios. We cover configuration, master data, transaction, which is what the pyramid structure was. So we cover this whole part: client, enterprise structure, configuration, master data, business process, transactions, and all the modules. And then the SAP tables, which I just discussed, along with each and every aspect within the modules. So it's a practical hands-on with a live project going along with the training. The focus is on developing skills which can be deployed immediately. This course gets completed in 5 weeks time. So 5 weeks, 4 days and late evening. So works well for most of the working professionals. You can see in the background that many of them, they have already gone through this. And these are the companies where they have been working when they were taking training from me. So you can connect with me on my phone number, my email ID. You can also go to my site and you can give me a feedback here, and so I can share the PowerPoint deck with you and recording. So I'll give you. So this link you can use to give me your feedback, and also then I can share my deck with you. Okay, so yeah, thanks a lot. I think the two-way communication isn't working because if you speak, they can't hear. I don't know why, but I've answered all the questions which are there in the chat box. Someone is showing hands. Mitesh, you got any questions? You can type it in the chat box. Okay, so we are up the time. Thanks a lot for your time and for all the great questions. I will again someday organize some other session for the benefit of all of you, and then we will meet again. Bye till that time. Have a great evening. Thanks a lot, all of you. And I'm glad all of you liked this session. And if you, like I said, if you want more detail, you can go to my site, FICO training. You can get all the details. You will get a lot of videos that you can go through. You can go through the schedule and see what are the contents for the program. And if you're interested, please connect with me. Okay, thanks a lot, all of you. Good night. Bye.